I just feel like having to split my mind and between the relationships that I'm trying to build here. And the thing is, like, it's not any relationship, because most relationships you don't have to take that much time to like cater to when it's just a friend or something like that, because they understand, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to a significant other, like, if they have a bad day, if they're having a bad day, automatically you're having a bad day.
Especially when you're the husband. No, when you're the husband, like, because the husband, a dude can have a bad day and it doesn't shift to the woman. Okay. Right. But if a woman has a bad day, we all having a bad day.
Hey guys, welcome to Uncommon State of Mind, where we debate different ways to leverage your next investment to create time freedom, legacy impact, and generational wealth in order for you to live that uncommon life. But to do that, you must be uncommon. My name is Joey, aka Mr. J Mates.
Hey, and I'm AD, also known as AD the Fly Realtor.
So we've actually talked about this on a couple of different occasions, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I mean no disrespect, because he does have a wife. Her name is Jess. She's an awesome person. Amazing mother, amazing wife, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, so I don't want you to take this. If you watch this, it's nothing but love, sweetheart. Okay?
Be like, Joey, ask if he's cool, and he see it when he's in my face. He get on that podcast and got customer success.
But, look, I'm an entrepreneur. At least I label myself as an entrepreneur. And when I go and, strive for these businesses and for these goals, I'm happy that I do it single. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could only imagine if I had a significant other breathing down my neck, you know what I'm saying, every time, like, something doesn't go right, or, like, I'm trying something new, or, like, I'm trying to, like, pursue greatness in my business, you know what I'm saying? So when it comes to pursuing your goals and aspirations as an entrepreneur, do it single. Period. Period, point. That's my take. He has a different opinion. I think my take wins, but we'll go ahead and we'll debate that.
So I'm not going to act as if, there aren't some advantages to, attacking your goals as a single person. There are. But to just say, like, you need to be single to go ahead and try and reach your goals, like, that's crazy to me. Because, one, there's so many benefits to reaching your goals while you have a spouse or while you already have a wife or a husband. Well, for one, have you ever heard the expression, how you do anything is how you do everything?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so one thing about having a wife, I know for me, it causes me to be more disciplined. Like,
really?
Yes. Yeah. And if you're really single, don't get me wrong, there's husbands out here who are just doing their thing.
Yeah.
But, like, if you're actually trying to be a good husband, it requires you to be disciplined into who you decide that you are going to be.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So to piggyback off that, more discipline, I get it. And because you're a husband, you're trying to be more disciplined for your wife.
Right.
Correct? Now, is that discipline towards, like, the actual goals that you have set, or are you talking about discipline to, like, maintaining the marriage?
Well, like I said, how you do anything is how you do everything. So the discipline it requires not only to maintain the marriage, but to keep it thriving, to keep each of you happy and in love. That translates to other areas where it's like, okay, I know I need to consistently, show my wife love in some way, or tell, words of affirmation, gifts, every woman's love language is gifts. Every single woman, I don't care what you say, but, give her gifts every now and then, just show her love. That does require discipline, especially when, I don't want to say it doesn't come natural, but it's like, I got stuff going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that takes discipline in and of itself. But what it does is it translates to other areas where it's like, okay, I may not want to do certain things, but I know that discipline is going to help reinforce what I'm trying to do because it's needed.
Okay. So let me just go ahead and just chop all that down right now. I don't need a wife to get disciplined.
I'm not saying
so what I'm saying,
I'm saying it translates. how you do anything, how you do everything.
So all I'm saying is, the time that I'm over here giving gifts and words of affirmation, I could be grinding in my business, giving my business words of affirmation. And myself gifts. You know what I'm saying? To do better in business.
Who said myself gifts?
To do better in business. Like, shit, bro. I'm just look. I look.
He said I give myself gifts. Like, I can't even listen to him.
Bro, look. I love it. I understand where you're coming from. I get it. You feel
Oh
me?
God.
I can develop the discipline on my own some other way to go ahead and find a way to keep myself centralized on the tasks that I need to get things done. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like having to split my mind and between the relationships that I'm trying to build here. And the thing is, like, it's not any relationship, because most relationships you don't have to take that much time to like cater to when it's just a friend or something like that, because they understand, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to a significant other, like, if they have a bad day, if they're having a bad day, automatically you're having a bad day.
Especially when you're the husband. No, when you're the husband, like, because the husband, a dude can have a bad day, and it doesn't shift to the woman. Okay. Right. But if a woman has a bad day, we all having a bad day. And that's a
We sweat, bro. Come on.
No, for real. No, I hear you. Like, I'm not even gonna fight that. You're so right. I got no rebuttal for that. That is so true. My response is that is why it is important. See, okay, I'm not even gonna lie. I got a lot of love and I feel for like my single brothers and my single sisters out here, because the stuff you see on the internet, I'm like, yo, y'all, it's crazy. Like, a lot of married people, I know they're in their house looking like, what is going on outside? You know what I mean? You looking out the windows like, it's crazy out there.
No,
and like, I don't know, so like, I don't like where the culture is, where we've let the most toxic single people have a platform and they just run with it. So it's not even the single people with some sense. It's not the happily married people with some sense.
Right.
It's the like wild people who are out here like, dispelling their opinion.
Like the people that y'all be watching on Zeus Network.
Man, Zeus. What's that one? I don't even want to shout out nobody. I'm not trying to make no enemies. Like, let's stop. But no, but I mean that with all seriousness, where it's like, it is important who you choose, because like he said, if your spouse has a bad day, you having a bad day. Women may have a different point of view, but as a man, I can always speak as a man. I feel like my bad days don't necessarily mean my wife has a bad day, but her bad days mean something happening to me. So, but with that said, it's important to choose somebody whose values are in line with your values.
Do you see how he's trying to walk on eggshells on this episode?
I'm not even trying to walk on eggshells. I really don't want to offend anybody else's situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I don't want to do, because the longer I'm married, the more I realize that you can't judge nobody's marriage.
I can.
You know what I'm saying? The more I'm married, the more I'm like, all right, for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it might not be my thing, but do you?
Right.
Yeah. So, no, what I'm trying to say is that it's important to choose a spouse who, even if they like go off the rails a little bit, because you know who they desire to be and who they actually are, you can try to like bring them back to, and hopefully the closer you guys get, the like more you guys understand each other, is not as difficult, because some people, when they go off and they're in the ether. And there's no bringing
a whole different
right.
space.
You try to tether them, you can't tether them. Like, so it's really important, because like I said, I feel for all my single brethren out in the fight right now. It's really hard. Like,
I guess I'm one of them, to be honest with you. I look out there sometimes and I'm like, I'm straight.
Right. And that's the thing. Something like that can make you feel like, I'll stay single and go for my goals.
That's what I'm.
So my main thing is, I don't think you should try to stay single so that you can attack your goals. I feel like it's best for you to attack your goals while you're single, yes, But if like for instance, my wife, like I wasn't even looking for a relationship when I met her. I was chilling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't feel like if you meet somebody who is suitable for you or their energy matches with yours or you guys vibrate at the same frequency,
Yeah.
I don't feel like you should automatically just deny it or fight it for the sake of, oh, I'm single and I'm an entrepreneur. You know, like if you find a good person, that person can help you. And you just reminded me of another point.
What?
Also, if you do choose the right spouse, that's another set of eyes and another head, another mind
Okay.
on your decisions and business doing.
Okay.
You know, because there are some things I've tried to do or I was about to try to do that my wife was like, I know in your head that sounds good, but it's not as good as you may think. And it did cause me to go back, think about it a little bit more, or maybe ask a couple other people, be like, all right, maybe you were right. You know, it doesn't mean everything she says is an opinion that I take, but it is good to have those opinions because somebody else might think of something towards your entrepreneurship that you didn't even consider.
Okay.
So that's another good reason.
So notice what he said. He said, suppose you do find the right spouse. Suppose that you do find the right.
On you though.
So wait, let me finish. So suppose that you do. Back in the day, I don't know if the numbers have changed yet. They said 50% of marriages fail. It's probably, I think the numbers have gotten better. Or
No,
is it still around that? This is still over 50?
Yeah, over 50.
So you got a quarter flip chance to find the right person. Because let me tell you right, look, you got a look. Wait a second, I got quarters over there.
You have to factor in.
Give me that quarter. We go.
In those numbers, we also have the celebrity marriages.
Come on, bro.
We also have people who like got together in Vegas and just were doing whatever.
Okay.
But see, these are skewed statistics. It's skewed statistics because there's no way to evaluate the husband and wife, the spouses who were actually each trying their hardest and evaluating those marriages.
Okay, so
how many of those marriages?
Even if that was the case, we are still taking a coin flip into this process
because we don't even have numbers to work off of.
We are. I'm using.
No, you're using the numbers for every married person ever in existence.
Okay, so what would we?
That's what I'm saying.
What would we narrow this down to? Like,
there's no way to get those exact numbers,
bro. Come on.
Because if you ask any husband and wife or any former husband and wife, they're always going to be like, yeah, I tried my hardest. You know, it's just like anything, like in business.
Right.
Like certain people, you talk to them and they think they've tried so hard and they've done so much.
Agreed.
And it's been 2 weeks that they've been trying so hard. You know, in LA, we see it all. I see it all the time. Like I came to LA for this and this and it's not working out. So now you have a random person who hates LA because their dreams didn't come true. How long have they worked on their dreams? 6 weeks. And they're so mad that in this short amount of time, they didn't see massive success.
Right.
But that's why it's hard to ask people about the effort they put into something.
Okay, so that's fair. So either way, even if we have skewed statistics and things of that nature, even though we know that it's over 50% of marriages fail, I'm going to concede to that. I'm going to concede to it. You know why? Because all that effort that you're trying to make this marriage or this relationship work, you could just not and put that same energy into the business, into the goal that you have set as a single person. So like, you're not worried about making some shit work over here. You're betting on yourself during this time to successfully get into the business opportunity that you want. Not having to worry about somebody else matching your energy. You're matching your own energy and you're going there shooting for success, right? You're shooting for those dreams, those aspirations. I feel like E.T. the hip hop preacher right now. Like, I'm out here.
You the only one who feels like that. That's you the only one. But you done? I feel like I'm in a rap.
Go ahead.
So one thing about having a spouse, again, like it goes back to that discipline. So if you know that you're gonna spend some time with your wife or your kids or whatever it may be, it makes sure that you have to fit a specific amount of work into a specific amount of time. And what that does is it causes you to work more efficiently. It causes you to work more thoroughly because you don't want to have to go back and keep correcting mistakes over and over again. So I say that to say sometimes we think that we're working so much or we're grinding so hard, but a lot of that time that we think we're grinding, how much of that is it spent correcting stuff that we messed up on because we never took time off from that grind? You know what I mean? Like, oh, like I'm grinding. And then everything, you go back and look and you have all kinds of mistakes in the work you did, and now you have to go and do that. But you consider all that time grinding time, whereas like, no, some of that time is correction time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like
So you can take a course and learn how to operate more efficiently. You can figure out ways to be more efficient with your time. You do not need a wife in order to do that.
I didn't say you need a wife.
This is what I'm saying. I can be efficient. I can figure out how to be efficient without having to allocate my time.
But let me tell you something. If you just have all this time, so let's say like, okay, how long do you have to accomplish your goals? Oh, I have all day. That automatically instills in you the idea that there is no time limit on when you need to get something done. It's automatic. If you tell somebody, if you could do a study like, oh, I'll give you 24 hours to get this minimal task done. I bet you most of like average people will take closer to that 24 hours. But if you know you have a set amount of time, maybe 8 hours to get the same task done, how much more can you fit into a smaller amount of time? Because you know you have other things to take care of and or attend to.
So that exact concept is called time blocking. That's a technique used to be more efficient in your day, in your everyday activities that you can learn how to do.
So what you're saying is I should go get courses for the personal development that I can also gain by trying my best to be a good spouse.
What I'm saying is you don't even need to go get a course. You can just do a YouTube search and find ways to be more productive in everyday activities. I don't need a spouse to do that.
I didn't say
you know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is I can
benefits of. Okay, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay,
you don't need to attack your goals as a single person.
Also,
benefits to doing it as a married person is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, all right. There are benefits. I just think that there are more benefits if you are single and pushing and grinding, is my personal opinion, especially since you can use all of that time, like I said, to build relationship. Not doing that, at least not with your spouse, but building a relationship with yourself and understanding yourself well enough and understand how. One thing about business is it's extremely illuminating.
Wait, how do you take time to understand yourself?
I'm telling you this right now, like as a person who's trying to run their own business or operate as an entrepreneur, it's illuminating to figure out your weaknesses in that, because everybody goes into a situation like, oh yeah, I got this, I can do this. You know what I'm saying? And as you're in it trying to be successful, there's things that are illuminated in your life that like will expose you, as an entrepreneur. And sometimes those things that are exposed can actually make you it gives you the opportunity to fix, and it will actually make you a better person when you do meet your spouse.
I'm so glad you said this.
Go ahead.
I'm so glad.
Come on, I'm here for it.
Because yes, entrepreneurship exposes you, but nothing exposes you more than having a spouse. And men out there who are married, please chime in on the comments and let me know how much your wife lets you know that you ain't, what. Okay, after you got married, okay, that's a whole nother kind of exposure to your faults. Trust me, you become very exposed to your faults. But not only that, that grows you as a person also, because another thing it does is it teaches you how to be a better leader, which is dope and which is definitely needed for entrepreneurship or for running any kind of business. Even if you're just investing, but you have, let's say you're buying property, you have a realtor, a lawyer, a contractor, and a property manager, like that's your team and you need to lead that team.
Exactly.
And it also teaches you, marriage also teaches you how to achieve goals with different personality types. That's something that you don't just always get out in the world. You don't just always pick that up through entrepreneurship. You may come face to face with it, but it doesn't necessarily mean you overcome.
So I was agreeing with him a second ago because I thought he was talking about being single, and so.
but I guess so I take my agreement back. Continue on.
No, I'm just saying that yes, as being married, there's a certain amount of personal growth and personal development that comes with that, and it can actually make you a better entrepreneur. And also too, you know what I mean? Here's another thing too. I just thought about this. But I'm sorry, women, I don't have a lot for you guys today. I can't speak from that point of view. But men, I know a lot of men out here, myself included, by yourself or when you're single, there's a lot of stuff you'll allow yourself to deal with. You know,
What do you mean?
Let's just say there's a lot of opportunities to spend money that you will miss out on because you're like, look, I'm gonna save my money.
That's just true.
With a woman, it's a lot different. And certain things that you're like, I'm not gonna spend money on, that you will now spend money on. So what's another thing that does? It grows you to be like, okay, I need to know how to afford these things and also, you know, still live my life.
Right.
You know?
So I'm gonna go ahead and just steal that exact point and use it against.
I'm saying
why you should be single.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I mean,
preach it to me because I'm gonna say exactly that.
Yeah,
exactly that.
but
So there's
is,
things.
what I'm trying to say
Okay,
is,
go ahead.
where's the growth at if you don't have anything else to answer to, anyone else to answer to, there's not going to be as much growth there as opposed to reaching those same goals but doing so with the spouse. I mean, why is it that most millionaires and billionaires, not only are most of them married, but most of them have been married since before they attained their wealth?
Where's the statistics on that?
Man,
Bring it up. So one, that's that. But also in, going back to his point, like there's things that you don't allow yourself to spend money on. So you are building an asset. You are building a valuable trait to yourself. It's just in a different way. You are now being very discerning on how you spend your money. You're not just spending money on anything because you are trying to accomplish a goal in making this business or whatever entrepreneurial journey you're on successful. So now you're like, you know what? Usually I'll spend this on drinks with the boys, but tonight I'm not doing that. I need to save my money to afford whatever journey that I'm on or whatever entrepreneurial, task that I'm trying to achieve. So you do build that discipline in a different way, not with the spouse, but on your own. And once again, learning that by yourself while you're trying to engage in a business, you know what I'm saying? You can take that with you when you do find that spouse. Like, look, babe, like we really want to go on this vacation later. We would usually eat out tonight or whatever night. Let's save that money because we have a bigger goal in mind. And you can learn that on your own. Before
you could do that with a spouse.
but you learn that when you're trying to operate a business.
I mean,
so this is what I'm saying.
I don't know if I learned that in college. I mean, like, let's not spend money. So I can't money for something else. I didn't need to run a business to learn that,
bro.
I needed to learn
when you're in business, family, like when you're trying to make something happen and you know things cost a certain amount, like. Yeah, you learn it in college, but is what you learned in college automatically applied? It's when you can apply that knowledge.
I mean, I didn't learn it in college classrooms. I learned it in college being away from my parents' house and trying to make some shake.
Well, not everybody has the luxury of being able to go to college. Like, what about these entrepreneurs who don't have a college education and weren't able to learn that? You know what I'm saying? So
what I'm saying is, for me, the time in my life when I learned that was while I was in college. Mm-hmm. But that same time period, 18 to 25, anybody can learn that in any situation you're in.
In any situation you're in?
Damn near.
How many people say, okay, I have a specific, I'm trying to build a business, I'm trying to do this, be very successful in my business, and I need to cut back on my spending and actually execute it? Because anybody can say it.
If you can't execute that, if you can't execute that, I don't even know what your point is there. Because you should be able to execute that whether you're single or you're married. What I'm saying is having that wife there who wants things in a quicker than you care to have them, it grows you to be able to get those things So how many hours a day are you spending on your entrepreneurial endeavors?
Right now, sheesh, man. To be honest with you, I want to say probably like 5-6 hours.
5-6 hours of your day is spent on your entrepreneurial endeavors.
Okay, maybe a little less. Maybe I want to say maybe like 4 hours.
So 4 hours.
Yeah.
So that's half of the average American's full-time workday. 4 hours.
Okay.
So what are you doing the rest of your day that you can't commit any amount of time to a relationship?
I also work.
Okay.
So I work, and then the time that I'm not working, I'll take a nap, and then I'll get right into my entrepreneurial stuff. So like, and 4 hours is just like kind of like I guess, but depending on what I'm doing or what I'm learning that day,
it could be more.
It could be more and less. You know what I'm saying? So, but I know that if I had a family, if I had like a relationship that I had to nurture, I wouldn't be able to just be like, all right, I'm gonna knock this out right now. You know what I'm saying? I would have to be like, okay, let me
See, here's another benefit of marriage though, because what it does is it teaches you communication, and as a husband, it teaches you getting ahead of things. So when I say that, what I mean is like when I know I'm gonna have to go in the back cave and like really work, I let my wife know ahead of time, like, look, I'm about even coming here. I'm like
baby.
Well, I check in. What day works best for you for me to go do the podcast? Because I got this day, this day, this day.
Yeah.
Like, which day works best for you? But what does that do? It grows me. Because
full circle.
Yeah, full circle. Full circle. Thank you. It grows me because what it does is it makes sure that I get the things I need to get done. Those have to be out of the way in the amount of time that I have available so that I can also come here and work on this podcast. It's fun. I love doing it, but I do have to leave my pregnant wife and my 2-year-old, well, about to be 2-year-old son, at home without me while I come do this. When I'm going to look at properties, I have to leave her at home. When I'm at home on the MLS, I have this kid trying to play with me and I got a computer in my other hand. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is like, it helps you understand and learn, all right, these are the windows where I can go hard. These are the windows where I'm going to have to maybe do a little bit of both. My son, I'm tricking him. Well, not tricking him. Well, teaching him how to play with me while I'm doing something else.
Okay.
So I have moments where I'll give him attention, and then it's like, all right, I have a few minutes to work on what I got to work on.
Right. Well, hold on. That's a whole different story because I was just talking about a spouse. We're not talking about kids.
Okay, you're right.
We're not talking about kids just
the
yet.
Spouse too, though. The spouse too, because let me tell you something. Once Jesse used to not like for me to, let's say if we're watching something, like if we're watching reality shows,
okay,
I don't need a lot of brain power to keep out. So like, I really don't. I literally will be working on my computer and I know everything that's going on because it doesn't require a lot of my mind.
Correct.
Sports, I pay attention a lot to sports, but I can work while I'm watching sports too. You know what I mean? So what I'm trying to say is there's more time than you think to attend to the relationship and to still be an entrepreneur.
Okay.
But when you close yourself off to the idea I don't have all this time.
I'm not saying
dedicate. So, okay, so how many hours are you at work? Let's go back to.
So wait. So I'm not saying that you need to completely close yourself off to relationships. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you're probably going to get more done if you do. Like there's a high chance that you're probably, if you're dedicated and you're focused and you're serious about this endeavor, don't get like, look, if you're lollygagging and you're like, I want to play around with this. If you're like that person who's like, oh, I went hard for 6 weeks, then, you bullshitting yourself. You know what I'm saying? But if you're serious, if you're dedicated and you are like, okay, I really want this to get done in my life, and you have that time on your own to grind, you can move very quickly. You know what I'm saying? You can move very quickly. And when it comes to the communication piece, if you've ever worked in a team, I work in a team with a couple of different investors right now. And let me tell you right now, like I have learned to communicate, because you know what I'm saying? Like before, you let things slide and you let things go because you especially when in the beginning, when we're just all new investors trying to get to know each other, people are scared to step on toes and things of that nature. But like over time, you learn how to communicate effectively and efficiently to make sure tasks get done. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that happened while I was in a team of investors. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's different ways and different places where you can learn those exact same skills, but they're skills that you're learning while you're still mainstreaming towards that main goal.
Look, we can agree to disagree on them. We really can. But all I'm going to say is that whether you're single or you're married, it's not an excuse to not strive for your goals. It's up to you to find the best way to attack that with whatever your situation is. And my main point of all the points, of all the great points that I had, my main point is that there are certain intangibles from being married that you attain and acquire that you really can't get from any course, from any group of investors, from any team that you're on. And trust me, one day you're going to be there and I'm going to be laughing and I'm going to be like, bro, I told you.
Bro, look,
I told you. I tried to tell you ahead of time and you didn't want to listen. But it's okay,
Look,
it's okay.
So
they didn't listen to Jesus either.
Look at this guy.
For instance, the richest people in the world, which ones can you think of are single? Because Bezos got divorced and he got remarried right after.
Right.
Bill Gates, he got divorced recently.
Right.
But that's because he had a side piece.
What's your point about this, bro? Like, I'm just trying to figure where are we going?
The point was lost.
I finished too many of these. This isn't the first recorded today, you guys. We're drinking. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to Uncommon State of Mind. Check us out next time. The bit for today is
Me, Jeff Bezos, we got a side piece, Johnny.
where are you going with it?